Nur al-Huda asks about Mishban. And Mishban is a feast to feed the society and the poor people. This is something called Isalu Thawab, meaning that the reward is being redirected to the deceased. And this total arrangement is for my late parents and late brother-in-law. He says, my wife keeps arguing with me that this is all non-Muslim traditions. Can you give us an advice? First of all, your wife is knowledgeable and what she's saying is true. In Islam, if a person dies, we are to mourn that person for 3 days, with the exception of a widow. She mourns for 4 months and 10 days. But normal people, a father died, a brother, a sister, a wife, he mourns for 3 days, meaning that he may prevent himself from wearing perfume, or from having a bath, or from wearing nice clothes out of sadness. But after the 3rd day, it's over. He must not continue mourning. Sadness is in the heart, but you have to display otherwise. Now, what the people are doing, such as at the end of the last 3rd day, they throw a party, sort of, invite people to eat. And then on the 7th day or the 10th, and then the vast majority do it on the 40th day. And this is all coming from the old ancient Egyptians. The pharaohs used to believe that the soul of the dead pharaoh would come back on the 40th day. That's why in their graves, in their pyramids, they used to put horses and jewelry and food and milk and water, believing that they will be resurrected 40 days later and they will continue to live. And this came down to us, and the Muslims now are doing it. Then they celebrate the anniversary of the deceased every single year. Not only that, they gather people and they feed them. And they make a feast. This is all innovation. It was never done by our Prophet ﷺ, whom we assumingly take as our role model. He is the representative of Islam to us. So if he did not do it, and if his companions did not do it, does our scholars know more? Or do our scholars know more? Is this logical? Do those who preach and insist on these innovations invading us, do they know more than the Prophet ﷺ? If they say no, then alhamdulillah. If they say, well, don't say well. You're a Muslim, you should follow the Prophet ﷺ and his companions. They say, it's not harmful. Ya akhi, how would you know it's harmful or not? If you do not follow the footsteps of the Prophet ﷺ, you will be misguided to somewhere else. You will not end up in paradise. If you follow his footsteps, you will definitely end up with him, with the grace of Allah Azza wa Jal. So this is totally not acceptable, and it is an innovation. You want to benefit the deceased, you love them and you want to benefit them, here's what you should do. 1, make dua. So whatever you make dua, oh Allah, have forgiveness over my deceased so-and-so. Oh Allah, expand his grave. Oh Allah, fill it with light. Oh Allah, give him from your bounties and favors and blessing. Oh Allah, do this. Dua. Ask Allah for forgiveness, forgive his sins, etc. Number 2, give charity. So you see an orphan that needs sponsoring, give him charity on behalf of my deceased aunt or my brother-in-law. You see a masjid is to be built, you give them from their money. You see an Islamic satellite channel, like Zad, like Huda, and you want something that is generating on and on good deeds and thawab and reward, sponsor them, give them money. And this would ensure that they are continuing to give da'wah. Number 3, you have performed your own umrah. Number 4, you have performed your own hajj once in a lifetime. Then you can perform umrah or hajj on behalf of a deceased. You don't have to go there physically. You appoint someone who goes to perform umrah and hajj on their behalf, pay him the money, and this does the job, and inshallah you have benefited them. Definitely far greater and more than feeding the poor or having a feast, etc.